welcome back to the show. If you just tuned in, I'm Wasam Ismail and you are watching Good Morning Sri Lanka on MTV Sports. Now before the break I did tell you that we have a few interesting guests in the audience who we're going to discuss with them in a very exciting project that is coming up from the 13th to the 23rd of March, which is on climate change and repercussions. And in the studio with me I have Mrs. Kanchana Veerakun. Good morning.
Good morning.
And she is the founder-president of the Eco-Friendly Volunteers, or should I say, Kanchana, Eco-V.
Yes, you can.
And all the way from San Francisco in the studio we have Mr. Jay Chen, who is the high school's programs manager, and he's from the Chrissy Field Center in San Francisco. Good morning, Jay.
Hi, good morning.
I've been told that you did fly down to Sri Lanka yesterday at around 2 o'clock. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling great.
Is everything treating you, is everybody in Sri Lanka treating you well?
Yes, I'm enjoying the food.
No issues with jet lag?
No issues.
Excellent. It's good to have you in the studio. Now, to start off with, Kanchana, can we just educate our viewers as to what the Eco-Friendly Volunteers is about?
Yeah, we started in 2001, so now it's 12 years for us. And Eco-V is mainly focusing on scientific research on fauna and flora, which is like animals and plants of Sri Lanka, and also to create awareness on those things among our general public.
I see. So how has it been so far? How long is the organization?
So now it's 12 years.
12 years?
Yes. So we did several interesting projects for last 12 years. One is that we were the ones who did research on pelicans, if you are aware of that huge bird with a...
Yeah, I know what a pelican is.
So, because why I said that was, not many people of Sri Lanka knew the pelican because they misled it with the swan. But we don't have any swans in Sri Lanka. So we were the ones who went into the village level and talked about the pelican. So it was such a beautiful project. And we managed to safeguard the pelican population in Sri Lanka, and we helped with the data for the South Asian population of pelicans.
I see. Now, just to give a little understanding to me and our viewers, now the Eco-Friendly Volunteers, is it a non-profit organization?
Yes, we go as that, but we call it a voluntary organization because all our work is voluntary based. So we raise funds whenever appropriate, but we don't have any permanent donors or anything. So it's totally, we are encouraging volunteerism back to the society because we really need that willingness to work free of charge for the society and environment.
I see. And in terms of the volunteers, how has it been? So how has the ride been so far during the last 12 years?
It's really interesting and very encouraging. A lot of people really join with us. Now we have around 400 plus network and database. So most of them are very active, and some of them we haven't never seen. But with the social media now we have more than that, over 1,500 members.
I see.
So it's very interesting, and people really willing to help and try to do their own duties to safeguard Mother Earth. But having said that, it's not enough. We have to do a lot.
Definitely. I'm a social media enthusiast myself, and I did see a few things coming up on Earth Week, which is I think coming up very soon.
Earth Hour is it's coming on the 23rd, where we are going to finish this long journey.
Oh, I see. We will get to that event, but before we do, let's just draw attention to Mr. Jay Chen, who is the high school's programs manager at Chrissy Field Center. Now, Jay, what is the Chrissy Field Center?
The Chrissy Field Center, it's an environmental center for young people, and the goal of our programs is to encourage a new generation to become bold leaders for the environment, to create environmentally just societies.
I see. So, I mean, you're here all the way from San Francisco. Now, I take it the event that is coming forward is actually something which is organized by the Eco-Friendly Volunteers. And it's nice to have Jay also in the country supporting this.
Yeah.
And just to give a little insight as to how did the two of you guys meet?
Actually, I met Jay last September when I was traveling in US as one of the Eisenhower Fellows. So Eisenhower Fellowship is a very nice program which brings some world leaders together and strengthen further leadership skills. So I got the opportunity to visit a lot of environmental institutions in US. So I visited Chrissy Field and I met Jay there, and then that is how I was I was dreaming about our next coming event, Papadi. So I was talking about it, and Jay is a cyclist, so he's very much into that.
He looks fit.
Yes, very much. And his whole institution is more into environmental training and youth leadership. So I invited them to take part, and because this whole our programs are encouraging national and international youth as well as volunteers. So it's very important for us as in our younger generation to share their experience with the internationals and vice versa. So that is how we got connected. So this is the first time that we are joining with Crissy Field Center in San Francisco, and then bringing some volunteers. So in future we really want to work with them further.
I see. So you just threw the idea at Jay, and Jay said, no problem, I'm going to come.
Yeah, of course, his boss, Christy, so she really encouraged Jay to come down.
See. So Jay, are you here alone, or are you here with a few people?
I am here alone, and I'm here to go on this journey with Kanchana, and to go on this 10-day bike ride. But I'm also really excited about meeting the other Sri Lankan youth, but also going through this journey and learning about going through all the workshops, learning about how doing kind of a shared experience of how we do things, how we do youth leadership development over in San Francisco, but also learning from each other, doing an exchange of how can we train young leaders, how can we give them this opportunity to learn about their own neighborhoods and their own communities, but also empower them, giving them an opportunity to feel like they have the skills and abilities to create some positive change where they live.
I see. Very interesting to know indeed. Now, getting on to the event. Now, the event is supposed to be from the 13th to the 23rd, and this event is called Climate Change and Repercussions. Now, what exactly is climate change and repercussions?
The event name itself is Papadi 2013, and we named it as a bicycle journey for climate justice. And it is all talking about, as you said, climate change and its repercussions. Because why we did this is our second journey. In 2011 we did another journey along Kalani River called Kalani Nadi Yatra. So when we did that, we really understood still our grassroots populations, the communities are not fully aware of climate change and its repercussions, because we know that some changes are happening, and floods and droughts and some hurricanes and tornadoes, we are experiencing those things, and people don't understand that this is all human induced climate change, because it is natural, it looks like natural, but it's not no more natural. It's all induced by human activities which are very, very harmful for environmental balance. So that is why we want to talk about when you did something bad, the results are bad. The repercussions are obviously going to be bad. So we have to get ready for that. So the idea of the whole journey with everybody, what we are going to pass the message to the community is, don't do any more bad. And as human, we have to look after the rest of the creatures and plants, because we have only one Mother Earth. So it is the idea to talk about more about ill practices. Such small example is like a lot of people burning polythene, and we will be talking about it not to burn polythene or plastic, because dioxin, the emission is very bad for your own health as well as for the environment. So we all talk about carbon dioxide emission and how to bring that. So basically bringing all the scientific information like carbon footprint, eco handprint, and all this so-called terminology in the world, we want to make it simplify and then tell it to our communities, especially the youth, because there is a group of youth traveling with us. We want to make them green leaders. So we will be training them with all this knowledge.
I see. Now, getting on to the event, I believe it's from the 30th to the 23rd of March, and it's a 10-day journey across from Anuradhapura to Colombo, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. And what's remarkable about this is they will be riding right throughout from Anuradhapura to Colombo in 10 days via bicycles.
Yes.
Could you just elaborate a little bit about that?
Yeah, Jay,
Jay, would you like to comment on that?
Well, for myself, in San Francisco, I'm an avid cyclist too. I enjoy riding recreationally, but I also use my bike to ride to work. So throughout the day, I would ride about 20 kilometers. And with the young people, you know, I think they understand that transportation, the bicycle as a vehicle for transportation may not be as hip, or they may not have the experience to ride it, but the bicycle, it's a zero emissions vehicle, and it's, you know, once you ride it, it's really a real means to get people to places. And the bicycle as a symbol of it's a non-polluting vehicle to get people to places.
Which is why I understand you guys chose bicycles as means of transportation for this event.
Yes.
So what is the route like from Anuradhapura to Colombo? Where will you be stopping? How many towns?
Yeah, we will be taking the train to Anuradhapura, so with our bikes, and then we will be doing some city awareness in Anuradhapura on the 14th of March, and where a lot of other organizations and departments are joining with us. And then we will start our ride down on the 15th of March, and the lunch break would be in Talawa, and then the day stop would be in Tambutegama. So, and then likewise we are Tambutegama, Galgamuwa, Yapahuwa. Actually Yapahuwa is like off-road, but we want to go there and talk about our history and archaeology and environment together. And then we are coming to Variapola. There we are going to stay 2 days in Variapola, where our youth leaders will get further training on environmental leadership and adventure training. And then we are coming down to Polgahawela via Kurunagala. And from Polgahawela there's something interesting happening. From Polgahawela we are going to get into the train, because we really want to encourage our people to use more public transportation because it's more environmental friendly.